Good morning, guys. Real quick, for those of you who would like to boost your immune system like me, and click on the link in the description box on Alaska Chaga. Find out why millions of people drink Chaga tea every day. And last night I finally got some decent sleep. Thank you, Lord. And then for those of you, and by the way, you get 10% off and free freight for being from the channel. And then for those of you who would like to help out veterans, go to Hero Soap Company. They're owned by vets and they give part of their profits to veterans down on their luck. And for those of you who would like to learn more about CBD oil, go to martinbrodellcbd.com. And for those of you who would like to, you've been fired and you want to start a new career, you're a self-starter, you're a hard worker, uh, send me an email and I will send you the name and the phone number of the person to get a hold of. They're a great company and they support President Trump. Let's go ahead and dig into excuse me, some of the news here. So, backpedal in progress. Apparently, Kamala Harris is not doing the border. And it says, as we know, Biden had announced that Harris would be leading the efforts with Mexico and Northern Triangle countries on his not a crisis border crisis. And he called Harris the most qualified person to do it. And we know she's not. And anyway, as it says here, at the White House official later reiterated Biden's comments to a T. Anyway, so it says Harris is tapped to address the root causes of migration as Dems and reps call for swift action at the border, where nearly 5,000 children and teenagers are detained at the border. Anyway, and combined with Biden sounded like a done deal, right? Well, apparently not. And it says, according to Harris spokesperson Simone Sanders, via Breitbart News White House correspondent Charlie Spearing, Cackles is not doing the border. And so Simone Sanders denies that Kamala Harris is doing the border and says she is only leading diplomatic efforts for root causes of migration. And as we know, she's really only qualified for one type of job. And we all know what that is. Moving on to Biden almost causes another international incident with a huge gap at press conference. White House edits it out. And, you have to wonder, it's like how much of what we see is actually real. Is it I mean, because of computer generated images, basically we have no idea what we're seeing anymore. And basically, from what I can ascertain, most of what we see is coming from the White House down in Atlanta, Tyler Perry's studios, and Castle Rock Studios that is owned by Amazon. So apparently Biden claimed during an interview that he told Vladimir Putin to his face that he was a soulless and called him a killer. And so Putin then challenged Biden to have a live debate, and Biden said he was too busy backing down. Yeah, he couldn't back down fast enough. And his team must be so busy running cover for all the things he messes up. There was a big one that he made on Thursday during the press conference. While he was talking about Afghanistan, he forgot the name of the Afghan president, calling him by the wrong name. And General Austin is just met with Kayani, and I'm waiting for the briefing on that, Biden said. The president's name is General Ashraf Ghani, and Biden appeared to confuse him with a former chief of Pakistan's defense forces. Anyway, there will be more on that to come. There'll be many more gaffes. He's a gaffe a minute, really. And then press conference confirmation. The U.S. is now like China in the CCP, a nation run by a party and not an elected leader. Right. And it's about the truth. It is what it is. And then time to act. Joe Biden is not slipping. He has already slipped, and you need to get involved. So I've been saying for a while that something that's going to really blow the minds of many Democrats as well as some conservatives that haven't really been paying attention, close attention, is when they get rid of Joe Biden and they put in someone else. That it is going to stun them because they're going to figure out after a little bit, probably a short bit, that they actually voted for someone with dementia. And they're going to want to know, how in the world did that happen? How could that have happened? Exactly. And then Hollywood celebs suffer mass nervous breakdown over Georgia's election integrity law. Well, if you think they suffered a nervous breakdown over that, you haven't seen anything yet. And then no more 2A, no more Second Amendment. White House confirms Biden will sign gun control executive orders. And we're not surprised at this. And it says, yes, Psaki robotically said in response to a question on the subject during Friday's press briefing, I can't give you an exact time frame in part because they have to go through a review process, which is something that we do from here. And so, it's just know that they're going to do everything they can to do away with the Second Amendment. Now, is that going to be the thing that really triggers it? I have no idea. I got no idea. It'll happen when it happens. And then school forces boys to apologize to girls for rapes committed by their gender. And it says the government school in Warrnambool in the Australian state of Victoria apologized to angry parents. So a school in Australia faced backlash after forcing male students to stand up in assembly and apologize to the female students for sexism and assault on behalf of their gender. There's a number of things going on in Australia that are just really pathetic, but it's the same here in the U.S. There's a lot of things that are going to be flipped very quickly, I believe. And when things implode, look out. We're going to finally see things that make sense. And then Trump blasts Biden's claim he left children starving at the border, just the opposite. And as it says here, Trump calls out false claims made by Biden during the press conference. And look, I've said for a long time that if the Democrats and the rhinos couldn't cheat, they wouldn't be able to win. And they just lie through their teeth day after day after day. It never ends. Let's go to Breitbart. Boulder gunman passed background check, acquired firearm at retail outlet. Tim Scott, it does away with a whole lot of things there. Anyway, Tim Scott, Democrats use the filibuster they say is racist against my police bill last year. And then Senator Johnson at border. VP Harris compared immigration officers to KKK. Wow. CNN's Tapper, Trump projecting alternate reality. Honestly, the Democrats, they could care less. The Democrats and rhinos could care less what we think. We've never seen it to this extent before. We always knew they kind of like didn't really care much, but we didn't know how little they actually cared about us. And now we know why. Special Operations Command hires anti-Trump diversity and inclusion chief. Let's see here. And then Scott Walker on YAF's long game, sponsor 1 million students, sue schools violating free speech. And we will see, we're going to have free speech. And also, we're going to have all of our own platforms, financial platforms and everything else. Banks that support us and go along with us. We're going to, it'll be great. And then Bill Maher, we're spending like, never run out of cash. Well, not the way things are, we're going to run out, but anyway. And then apparently he's seeing things he doesn't like. And then Lindsey Graham, Biden's U.S. is complicit with child traffickers. Absolutely. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee moves to ban public colleges from hosting Confucius Institute. Atlantic City to spend $36,000 to repaint BLM Street tribute after driver confusion. Wow. 9-year-old migrant girl drowns while crossing border into Texas. Does that bother the Democrat? No. NBC Universal deleting racist segments from WWE matches. Okay. Parler tells Congress it advised FBI of violent threats prior to January 6th riot. NBC's Soboroff. Do they care? No, they don't care. NBC's Soboroff. Preposterous GOP senators terrorizing children seeking asylum for photo op. Yeah, I know. It is. They are crazy. These are insane, absolutely insane times. My goodness. Let's see here. What else? I'm looking. MLBPA open to pulling All-Star game due to Georgia election reform bill. Yeah, they're just going crazy over it. Philippine Navy responds to Beijing invasion with South China Sea sovereignty patrols. Russia suggests world adopt Arctic trade route as alternative to Suez Canal. Huh. Interesting. And maybe we will. And then Gordon Chang, China attempting to overthrow the American government using race themes. Yeah, believe me, Trump and them, they see everything going on. They're not missing a beat here. Anyway, that is all for now. I want to thank all of you for your support. It is very much appreciated. And just keep in mind that where you can always find me, a BitChute and YouTube, and there will be a new one coming up from Mike Lindell, Frank Speech, I believe it is. And so anyway, God bless y'all and have a good day. Bye-bye, guys.